coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Dalton bootlegs out. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Dalton. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Shoves him aside. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family, because that's a huge part of it, because everyone needs to be happy and comfortable. And, you know, while this process was going on, people had to be wondering, especially within his own crew, are we going to have to move? Are we going to have to change things? Not anymore. They get to stay where they're comfortable and familiar.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. To throw, Mayfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great...
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
But that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Landry now on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's got this down to the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. We're scoreless after 1. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And a short gain down to about the 33. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes you're perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On third down, Mayfield. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick. But now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
A first down run, good for about 3. Second and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And that's complete. It's Green here. 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath, a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 25 on second down, Mayfield over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, third down here. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down run with Chubb is going to go nowhere. He's, in fact, going to lose a couple. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Let's go, baby.
Mayfield with it once more. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Landry there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
57 the mark. Watch King. Watch 57's right.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's it, baby.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, You're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The second quarter score from KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Once again, they run with Mixon. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now Landry. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Bengals grab it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Andy Dalton. Green brings it in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699.
It's going to be a long day. Let's go.
To throw here, Dalton. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. 1st down, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Mayfield to throw it this time. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Throwing, Mayfield.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Collins on the handoff. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The Browns on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. Again, it's Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Browns getting set to go. And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a one-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. One-score game. This drive here could erase all of what happened previously.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield throwing right, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Carl Lawson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position. He'll
look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down. Mayfield now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. And he's got it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run with Collins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Shoves him away. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. All right, here's Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Let's go. Do it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here you go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Finding Green complete. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. This from long, very long range. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Browns drive about to get started. Tie game, probably time for one final play here. What do you do in this spot?
Now you're thinking about Hail Mary. You've got to find a way to heave it all the way towards the end zone and give yourself a chance. Your time management sheet tells you
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. But now the drive starts with a completion out to the right, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's second and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often...
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that was the safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Hey, alert 33.
What can Mayfield do here in the OT? Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wells. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 27. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, this is Collins. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They get the 1st. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So everything rests now on the right foot of Austin Seibert. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So everything rests now on the right foot of Austin Seibert. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got